Hey guys, it's Greg back with another video on data science and machine learning, and today I'm going to explain to you why you're not getting a data science job. Two things before we get going. I need you to, one, check the video description down below if you're looking for any sort of certification or specialization in data science and machine learning. There's lots of stuff down there for you. As well, if you haven't liked the video and subscribed to the channel, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to do that now. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you one sentence that just completely describes the situation that I'm referring to, but for the whole video, I'm going to build it up and talk about various different issues and then summarize that into the one line at the end. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is competition. Now, there is such thing as a friendly competition where, quite seriously, you're not getting too bothered mentally by the fact that maybe your friend is doing something that you want to do, they have a job that you want to have, except especially in something like data science where it's like a STEM topic, and this really applies to all STEM and honestly not even STEM as well. People are just very competitive human beings. That is really being a human being, is we want to be better than people. We want to have what they have, even though we should be very happy with what we have, most likely. Maybe you won't, and if so, work harder. But in general, competition isn't inherently bad if it allows you to work harder and you're not too upset by it. That's great. And it also gives you some guidance, as if this worked for them, it might work for you too. Now, people take this too seriously, where they start to really copy other people to the point of, I'm going to talk about GitHub projects. Okay, and I know it seems like a sharp turn there from competitiveness and like kind of copying people to GitHub projects. It's not. Especially in data science, people are talking so much about, give me this project that I can put on my resume so that I can get a job at NVIDIA because it got you a job at NVIDIA. It doesn't work that way. You need to make your own project. Now, I have a bunch of projects and educational material on my channel. That doesn't mean that I suddenly think that you should not look at it or understand it. Absolutely, you should go through it if you want to and understand the material and write the code yourself. Maybe try and not write the code exactly what I did, but you could, just so that you know what's going on. The point is that employers don't give a crap about the same project over and over again. People do recognize these things. If you are just taking a blog and basically copying and pasting it and saying that's your own project, it is not. It is doing you more harm than it is good. There is no project that already exists that will actually help you on your resume if an employer does proper research. Quite seriously. And yes, a lot of the time, maybe they won't, maybe they will just assume that you did everything from scratch. And of course you can borrow code. Like, I'm not saying you can't just take code from other people, because everybody does. But if you're actually copying someone's project, an employer has seen like 1,000 resumes. If you're applying for a good job, an employer just looked at like 100, 200, 1,000 projects, and they will see basically the same thing over and over again. Of course, it might be slightly different, but I'm saying your project needs to stand out like crazy. It should do something. Say if you looked at someone's project that had some cool clustering application, well, maybe you should turn that into a web app. Maybe you should turn that into a mobile app. If maybe someone had a mobile or web app that you liked, maybe you should do something crazier on the other side. You should make it more complicated machine learning model, like make it into a computer vision or natural language processing app. Whatever makes sense for the job that you're applying to, you need to have a project of your own, not because I think it's, I'm not such a saint where I'm saying do not copy other people because it's wrong or whatever. It is kind of wrong, but I'm saying it because genuinely I care about you, and to get a job, you need to do your own work. You need to put in the work, and I'm pretty sure that most of the time when you're asking the question, do you have a project that I can put on my resume? That's lazy, okay? Just think of it yourself. I'll link above the data science final project video where I thought about it for like 2 hours, not to impress employers, just to make something interesting and out of the box, where, for example, I talked about a rock climbing wall optimization. So basically the problem was that, well, and I just thought of it, was that, okay, I want clustering to be involved. So I'll think of a couple variables that make sense. And we were trying to get the right number and assign each person to a rock climbing wall to optimize some business. That sounds really cool that you're actually optimizing a real business, but the majority of blogs and projects already out there are either doing something that's interesting and then you're copying it and it's no longer interesting, or it's something generic that you're just going to copy and it doesn't really help at all. You're going to make an app called like a clustering model or something like that. I see that all the time where it's like a clustering algorithm on your resume. You show that you did clustering, like, okay, cool, but what's it solving? I was solving like a real business rock climbing wall optimization problem that actually makes sense. And of course it uses the technologies, that's important too, but you really need to focus on, and I know that I'm really just ranting at this point, the fact that you need to do your own work, do your own project. Think about, watch other people's projects to get an idea, understand the technologies, and be able to, in data science, you need to be able to see one problem and see how it can very quickly be abstracted into another problem, and it seems totally different even though it's not, and do your own work. I'm done arguing. If you agree or disagree with that rant that I just had, please go ahead and write a comment down below and we can argue down there. I'm really curious to see what your opinions are and what you've been thinking. Maybe I helped you out, maybe I pissed you off, whatever it was, please write a comment down below. And if you haven't liked the video and subscribed to the channel already, please go ahead and do that. The one-liner that I said is just stand out and put in the work. Seriously. It's hard, it's a tough thing. I'm not trying to say it's easy to learn all this material. It's absolutely not. It's not easy to think about your own project and do everything involved with it. It's not. But if you want to get a job and just excel in the field, then please put in the work and do your own project. Be you. Just be you and be a really good you. And employers will come to you and, of course, still apply, but they're going to come to you because you're so awesome and unique. So thank you. Please like and subscribe if you're not already. Bye-bye.